on this week's episode of I-45 Confidential.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Let me smash my coworker today.
Let me jeopardize my whole family.
You may be a 3 in Miami, but you're a 10 in Alabama.
So you were the Shantytown Vixen? The best dates I think someone could probably take me on would be a nap date. You are about to witness a conversation, a confidential conversation between lifelong friends. For more than 3 decades, they've laughed, cried, yelled, danced, traveled, and learned together. They are experts in nothing but experienced in life. Welcome to the conversation, and welcome to I-45 Confidential. Hey y'all, it's me, Kim, the social butterfly of I-45 Confidential. I am with my friends, my confidants. I'm joined with Rochelle.
My name is Rochelle. I'm the friend least likely to call your ass back.
And we also have my Retta.
I'm the unicorn of the group. I had a baby at 40.
And my number one roommate, Elise.
Authentically Elise here. I'm Rocksteady and I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
We are the confidants of I-45 Confidential. We are your new best friends, baby. We hope that you're doing well. I have a question. Listeners and friends here, have you ever been accused of cheating? What do you know about cheating? Have you ever been cheated on? Has someone ever accused you of cheating and you weren't? And how many times did they accuse you before you did it? Just curious.
The question is, because my cousin actually called and asked me that. I hope he listens to the podcast. Shout out, cuz.
Really?
He said, how many randomly? Yeah, cousins do that. He said, how many times can you be accused of cheating before you cheat? And I said, 1. Because if she asked, she think you're cheating, then you might as well. Because if she didn't made up her mind, you're doing it.
You're doing it.
You're
right.
doing it.
Right.
It's just if you think your mate is cheating,
They probably are.
They probably are. They probably are. And he has a history of, he was a little bit of a ladies' man. He was almost like a honeybee from flower to flower to flower. I couldn't even keep up. I love him though. But when he settles down, he only does one at a time though.
Okay.
Okay.
It's very clear.
Well, you can only do it one at a time.
Yeah, but some of them be juggling 4 or 5.
No, I'm at a time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no, not necessarily.
That's not true either.
As long as you got enough holes.
That's
I'm just saying.
okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I think it's different for men than it is for women.
Why women cheat?
Yeah. Women cheat for a totally different reason than men.
Why do you think women cheat?
I do.
Because
Emotional.
Yeah, it's always emotional. Yep. Always emotional.
There's something that's missing.
It's tied to something that's missing that you're not receiving that you for a long time. Because I think for women, it's a buildup. It's not going to be like, okay, I'm feeling lonely today. Oh, this man give me some attention.
And today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Let me smash my coworker today.
Let me jeopardize my whole family
Yeah.
for this. You've thought about it for a very long time.
Exactly.
So y'all feel that men are more physically,
Men are built different.
they're physical. They're not just mental.
Correct.
Like women are mental, women are emotional. Men are just like, I see it, I like it, I must conquer.
It is thirst. I'm thirsty. I'm going to drink.
Okay.
And then they don't, and because I've noticed this, I have a survey. I did a survey, okay? I always notice that when the guy's cheating, the girl ain't even really cute.
That's true.
But because it ain't about the girl, it's about the way the girl makes him feel.
Right. Have you ever...
But hold on a second. You just said, though, men cheat for a different reason. You said a woman might make him feel some way, but you also described it as a thirst. Like, you're not... Those things, they can go together.
Yeah.
But you said, for the most part, and I believe this as well, it's a thirst.
Okay, well, if it's a thirst...
They need to have that.
So she don't have to be pretty.
She doesn't have to be pretty, no.
Exactly.
Okay, but he wasn't looking for her for any mental... But that's what you said.
But you would think, as a woman, he likes her because she's pretty. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
That has nothing to do with that.
It ain't got nothing.
That's
They don't
true.
care what she looks.
I think it goes also with their ego. Men age differently. And so sometimes it could be, in my opinion, let me see if I still got it. And then with the let me see how I still got it, now I done put my fishing rod out in the ocean. And you know what? It's about 3-4 of them think I still got it.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm just being honest about that. You may be a 3 in Miami, but you're a 10 in Alabama.
Absolutely right. You're right.
So it's all relative to, but the woman they marry is different.
That's true.
It's different.
That's very true. And I'm saying that it's true because I don't want to put too much about, I think I've already discussed this though, but I know that my ex-husband, the person, it was always like, I'm not leaving you. I didn't leave for another woman, but he really did jump into another relationship right away. She was there. She was waiting. And she didn't speak English. She didn't have a green card. And she didn't have a job. So, but she was someone that made him, I guess, showed him the attention that he thought that he wasn't getting at home. Yeah, it's like almost like in our minds, right? We see it as like a downgrade, but in their minds, they're seeing it as an upgrade.
Because he's becoming a provider and protector for someone.
He's a provider and protector in our house. He was a father and a husband in our house. But he felt, and this is just something someone else told me, he just felt like he wasn't getting the attention that she gave. He wasn't getting that at home. Well, I'm sorry if I'm a mother and I work a full-time job and this and that.
She was desperate. Well, they're desperate. People do desperate things.
Well, she got him and he didn't stay with her. Now he's moved on to somebody else.
Why do you say she was desperate?
Because she needed someone to do what she needed to do. And so she's going to play that game until she gets it. If a woman knows nothing else, she knows how to play that.
And she did. She played the game and that was it.
But for me, cheating is not a deal breaker. I'm not willing to give up my family, my house, my car because he put it someplace else.
But that's okay. So I don't know if you've always had that view. I think my view has changed over the years now. And now people cheat. They cheat a lot. For most women, for decades, and probably since the beginning of time, cheating has never been a deal breaker. Most women do not get divorced or leave their husband for him cheating. That's that.
Yeah, but every time you see some kind of thing, he cheated, I'm going to leave one time. Like, I don't.
But the women who do, it only takes one time. The people who do, it only takes one time.
What does that say about the women who stay? They're toxic? Like, I don't know.
No.
I think that could probably be more of them if they're staying. I think that's more of you don't want to give up your security. You're aware that he will cheat. You don't want to give up the security of your home or your car or whatever he may be providing. And then there may be some women who genuinely love the men that they're with and they don't want to leave the man. I know I was in a situation where I knew I should not have been in that situation, but I wasn't going to leave him alone because I felt that I was better than the other two. I felt that I was better than the other two he had. So he's juggling 3 women. But I felt that I was better than them because I felt that I was a better catch and I was better suited for him. It was more of me being petty, not petty, but at that time, just I'm better. I'm not going to let him go and he's going to see that I'm better. But in the long run,
you wanted to win.
Yeah. And I've said that before too. I wanted to win. But once I would have gotten him, and I've asked myself this before, what would you have done once you got him? I knew I wasn't going to marry him. Wasn't going to move in with him because I know that he has these tendencies. So what will I have done? I would just have won. And I used to always tell him, like, you're not a prize. I don't care. I could care less. You're not a prize. But truthfully, he was. It was just, I just wanted to win just to show them that I could do it. Like, I'm better than you, and he picked me in the long run. But again, I wasn't hurting anybody with that situation other than myself.
That's right.
Because it was just a constant, like, I'm pounding my head against the wall because this one said this, or me, her, and her, we're all sitting down together and we're having these conversations, and I'm the one pissed, and they're just like, well, it's just him.
I think I've grown up because back in the day it would have been, or maybe I shouldn't say back in the day because I still stayed even though he cheated. But I think in my head now, I look at it for the lesser of 2 evils. I know this evil. Now if I put myself back into the dating pool, I got to find a new evil.
Better the devil
that you know. Some people may agree or not agree, but I understand where you're coming from when you say, now you smashed. Now, if it's consistent and this is all the time, then it's a problem.
Yeah, but
you don't want to be there, and I shouldn't want to be there either.
As long as she paying some bills at the house, I'm good. Asking for some money. I hate to say it like that, but I don't.
It's a different age.
No, but women, because my husband looks the way he does, women can act out of character sometimes.
He's gorge, y'all. He's gorge.
They can act. I've seen him do things that I didn't do when I was I was young once, but I didn't do that. I didn't.
Almost I'm throwing myself.
Literally.
Yeah.
And if he was someone who was an evil person or somebody who he could really take it. I mean, he's been in stores and women bought him stuff, and just if he was a person who, because if I was him,
be the Casanova that you would
girl, we would have cars and everything. Shoot, he's oblivious.
And I understand what you're saying, but I think if it's someone who's consistently cheating, I wouldn't be able to do that. One time, all right, I'm all right.
When you say
Second
cheating,
time, cheating, because here's the thing.
let's define that.
Okay,
Let's define
I was just going to say, here's the thing. Cheating, there's the physical cheating, and then there's the emotional cheating.
That's the one that I can't deal with.
Once you are emotionally attached to someone, then, what's the point? I no longer have you. If he's emotionally attached to another woman, I no longer have you. And now, now I'm just like, at this point in my life, okay, go on about your business.
I think when a man doesn't want you anymore, he just leaves. He's not like a woman who kind of rationalizes it and kind of stays around and let's see.
Some do.
Some do, though. Yes, some men do.
I think a lot more men do than you think.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Because there's that stability there. Like you might not, but you've built a home with somebody. You want to start over, like say it was a man in his 50s, right?
Like we just
you
said.
want to start
New
over
dating
with
pool.
another man. She's already let me cheat. Let me just go ahead and get my little thing on the side here and I'm going to come home. My family's going to come over on Sunday. We're going to have a good, you know what I'm saying?
And we're going to play that part.
Yeah.
I'm here. We just going to make the best of
But
it.
why don't they just join like a swingers club? I don't even know how it works.
Because their spouse may not want to be a swinger.
And people are not willing to have those conversations up front.
Right.
You had those conversations up front. Like, you know what? I want to be with you, but I want you to know it's okay. Let's talk about it. I actually think a lot more men are willing to have those conversations now. And I say that because when I look on the dating apps and I'm reading, you need to read those bios because they will tell you what they want. They will tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't read those bios. I don't need a dating.
Or indifferent.
All I have to do is read my DMs.
Yeah. Well,
Because
they
going to tell me.
They're going to tell you.
Definitely going to tell me.
I'm not in the dating pool at all.
You don't
Girl,
need to be,
thank God.
Don't do it.
Thank God you're not.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
because it's sad because that's the only way that you can really meet people nowadays. But man,
What?
some of the stuff that folks
Say what you just
ask
in your what you say. Say it.
some of the stuff that folks I've had people ask me, I just want to be dominated. I've had people who are already in relationships say they're looking for their throuple.
Is that an official term?
Yes, it
Like,
is.
is
That's
that,
a
so that
three.
means
That's
that
three
three
of
people
them.
are.
It's
So
a
everybody
throuple.
knows about each other and they live in the same house.
They all live
They don't
together. It's a
necessarily have to live in the
relationship.
same house. Right.
So
The show that I watched, they was moving in.
So are the girls in a relationship too?
They're not necessarily in a relationship. So this goes back to what I was saying about
Not
the situation I was in.
sometimes.
Right. Sometimes they're not necessarily in a relationship. You're just aware of the other person. The situation I left, I believe the two became in a relationship with him. Like they all three became a throuple.
Are we talking?
But they all live separately.
You don't have to put it this way. The show that I just watched, it's called Throuple. You can watch it on that
okay.
thing we talk about. They actually wanted relationships. These people, it was like it's a reality show, but it was really good. And it didn't matter about the gender either, because you had one couple that was a gay couple, two guys, and they did want another guy. But then you had a gay couple that actually wanted to have a girl. They
wanted to have sex with her as well?
Because they were attracted to that person. And guess what? That other side, this is all the show, y'all. This is not something I know. But basically, it was one of those things that they was like, yeah, we love each other, but there's something about her that we love that we don't love amongst other women. And that's what they wanted. They wanted that relationship. And the whole show was just about telling honesty. They had to, they went to counseling. They met each other's parents, family members.
they were in a relationship.
They wanted to,
Right.
relationship.
It wasn't just a sexual nature. It was a relationship.
And see, that's how the three over here, that's how they are. They've met families, the whole nine. They are in a relationship. I don't know if they still are now. I don't know, nor do I care. But I know that only thing they don't do is live together. And they have other reasons as to why they don't live together. But they are a solid. At one point, when I left it, it was a solid, they were a united front.
And so funny, we were talking, all of us were talking earlier about, what would you call it?
Polyamory?
Yeah.
Polyamory. So here's my question. Then what's the difference between the throuple and the polyamory? Because you're still saying that you can be, because like Kim said, you don't necessarily have to be in a relationship to be a throuple.
No, throuple, you actually have
poly.
to be a couple. I think and this is not the only throuple that I know of. Every throuple that I've ever met, they are all in a relationship.
Okay, where are you meeting thruples? 'Cause I ain't never met
Ma'am,
met a
ma'am.
thruple ever.
Ma'am,
Probably haven't, just so
I
you
ain't
know.
bumped into one.
what did I just?
Mind your business, Shell.
I have a friend who got a
Mind your
friend.
business.
I told y'all earlier, I do stuff for the plot. I do stuff for the story.
For the gram.
I have met people that are
Graham, no.
not for the gram, but I have met people that are in different lifestyles. They have a different lifestyle. Because of it, I'm always very curious about people anyway. Yeah. So they're all in a true relationship. But the poly people that I've met, I don't know how to explain poly because I'm like Mo. Like to me, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Right. I really can't explain the polys. I have met polys.
But would that be fair to assume that if you are a poly, that you cannot still be in a relationship? Because maybe you can have 3 or 4 different
Yeah,
relationships.
but if you're in a relationship,
I think I have, but I've seen stuff like you, Mo, on TV where people are poly and so they're together and then they may have someone else that they're with.
Right, exactly.
And then they may have someone else that it's just like a big
just
old
saying,
couple.
just having to deal with one man at this point.
But it's almost like the show Sister Wives.
Yeah, but that's an understanding, and they help take care of the kids, and they clean the house, and they share the bills. They share.
But some thruples, they do that too because they're in relationships. That we all go together.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We all go together.
But the girls don't go together though.
Yes, they do.
They all go together.
Together.
They all go together.
Sister wives, I don't know how to.
No, for the thruple, that's what it is. Okay, so let's use you, and we'll use Elise.
Okay, then. Okay, then.
All right.
We in a thruple.
So yeah, we're in a thruple.
We in a lease. Go ahead.
This thruple
Hey,
is
Elise.
an example, man.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway, so Shell, you and I go together, okay? And I come to you, I say, babe, you know what? I'm trying to figure out how I would even think that.
Yeah.
So, babe, can I tell you something? Listen, don't get mad. I really like Elise. And you probably be like, I like her too. She's cool. No, babe. I like Elise.
You don't keep saying my name.
Shut up.
Oh, shut up.
This is a story.
I'm already we're in a relationship. I'm already treating you bad.
At that point, yeah, she smacks me around anyway. But at that point, I would be trying to talk to her on the side to see where her head is. Now, if she's already interested, then now I just have to convince you of the interest.
Right.
That's how it gets started. Okay. Now, as far as the relationship, you may not want to be physical with Elise, but maybe you have a mental connection with Elise. So that becomes y'all's relationship. You and I are still physical. Now me and Elise are still physical. But you and Elise are not physical. You and Elise are mental.
That's too complicated.
No, it's not. I'm finna break it down.
Do you sleep with
No. I understand where she's coming from, but for me, and I would never.
Elise?
Yeah, the real Elise.
Sorry, the other Elise was spelled with an E.
All of that, you can't. It's hard to even get your partner on the same page with you on so many things. Now you got a third person involved. That's
okay.
much,
Let me say this: 2 things. One, I guess there's a shortage of guys in the world. I don't know.
That is true.
So you're going to have more women wanting these men. The best way that I can describe
Not in China. Not in China.
Okay.
Just cut it up.
But the best way that I can describe it, and I had to describe it once with these 2 ladies. I was in a relationship with them, but I described it as a V. He's here, I'm here, you're here. It's a V, and we're only connected by this man. We're a V. That's it. That's all.
So like a stepwife.
So what would you call
A step-girlfriend.
that relationship that you were in? What would you have called that? Because you weren't in a relationship with them.
Hell.
Okay.
Oh God.
But no, I guess if we go by the poly, no, it was hell.
Really?
It really was. It was hell, and I would never do
part?
anything.
So you were actually,
I don't understand
The whole thing.
but were you in the relationship too?
At one point, yes. I was in a relationship because he was someone that I was dating, yes.
So
Did I know about him?
Yeah.
Did I know about them?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
To the point where we went and smoked cigars, and I'm telling a lot of my business, and I guarantee you I'm going to get a call. Hey, you busy? Let me talk to you real quick. That'd be my brother.
Yeah. Are you sure
But-
you want to talk about this?
I'm cool. It is what it is. It is what it is.
We appreciate your honesty, Kim.
Yeah, it is what it is. But with the whole poly thing, I guess maybe under the definition of poly, we would have been poly, because the definition is poly or consensual non-monogamy is the practice of having multiple intimate relationships, whether sexual or just romantic, with the full knowledge and consent of all parties involved. We all knew about each other. We'd all gone to dinner. We'd all hung out. Me and one of them had gone to Sephora and shopped and then had lunch after. So I guess that would be a polyam relationship.
Yeah.
I was not in a
physical with them.
Right. I wasn't in a relationship with them. He was in a relationship with them, and that was what they did their thing, and that's what they chose to do. He and I were in a relationship. That's how it went.
Or should we start calling it a situationship?
And I started referring to, I never referred to it as a relationship. I always referred to it as a situationship because out the gate, there were issues. And not on my end, because at that time, the place that I was in, I wasn't a very jealous person. I was a little jealous, but not a very jealous person. I knew that after I met the first one that he's had for however long, I knew once I met her that it was not going to be good between she and I because she didn't like me. Like off the rip, she couldn't stand me. Did not like me. When I would say like whatever, a problem or whatever, he would say, no, she's cool. But she had to deal with that if she wanted to deal with him. She had to, I don't want to say deal with me because of course we didn't have to deal with each other if we didn't want to, but she had to deal with the fact that he had someone else. And then somewhere along the line, he slid another one in there. And I think I walked away for a little while. I was out for a little while and then I got back in.
I'm interested.
In what?
No, in the sense that what kind of guy is this that everybody wants him? I mean, is that a thing? Like, is that what's happening?
Yeah,
listen,
some kind of attraction. It's got to be.
We're talking about it, so I'm just going to ask you a question. I'm not going to ask you a question, but I remember when you met him, you knew there was an issue.
I knew there was an issue from the gate.
Yeah.
From the moment I laid eyes on him, I knew.
She knew it was going to be a problem.
I knew it was going to be a problem from the moment.
But
and
she went.
And I did it anyway. And Elise said to me, "You're like a child. If I say don't touch the fire, you touch the fire.
You want to touch the fire.
You're like a child." But I knew the moment I laid eyes on him, and I have told you this before, I've said it to him, it was a business transaction when I met him. I met him through my business. I went to meet him somewhere, and I begged my mom to ride with me because I didn't want to go by myself. And I begged my mom, because he was a stranger, right? I begged my mom to go with me. And she was like, "I don't really want to," but she went. And where we were, it's this large like shopping area. Where we were, where I was parked, I don't know how I knew it was him. I saw him before he even pulled up. I saw him. He was far. But I saw all these cars are going, and I saw him, and I tracked him. I don't know how I knew it was him, but I saw him when he pulled in, and I tracked him until he drove all the way around to my car. It was far when I saw him. I knew it was him.
That evil energy.
I knew it was him. The moment, and I told my mom, "I think this is the guy coming." And my mom was like, where? And she was, because there was so many cars. And I said, "You don't see that car over there?" And I described the car, and she was like, "I don't see it." She never could see his car, but I saw it the moment that man turned in. But when he got out and we started talking, I knew. And I've said before that my spirit, I call her my goddess, the minute she saw him was like, we couldn't make heads or tails of him. I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't know, but I knew it was going to be something. I just didn't know the extent of it. He did. And I didn't realize then the extent of, so now when I meet men and I get that initial like, oh God, is something wrong with them? Or I can't quite make out what's going on with them, I won't fool with them. And it's been, since him, it's been a couple.
That's fair though. That's fair.
Yeah, and because I should have listened to her in the beginning, and I didn't. But how I knew that was him turning into that, and I knew it was him. I knew it was him. Yeah. And I still talk to him off and on. It's not like where we were. We are not where we were, but he'll call and check on me, check on my mom, my family. My kids hate him, but it's what it is. And I'm sure he will listen to this. And it is what I'm sure they'll listen to it.
Yeah. My first husband, I lived in Paris, and one of my best friends was Moroccan, and she invited me to Morocco. She said it's a beautiful place. I've heard a lot about it. We get everything together and we went to her grandmother's house. Her grandmother lived in a shanty town.
In Morocco?
In Morocco. Like, these are not real walls. These are not real floors.
It's shanty.
It's a shanty town, a makeshift electricity going. So I'm there in my new Adidas or whatever, no running water. Cause shanty towns don't have plumbing.
You're right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I was just, oh my gosh. And I was so unhappy. That first day I was like, I don't, her uncle picked us up in his Mercedes. Apparently he was the rich uncle. It was an old Mercedes, but it was a Mercedes
or something.
Nevertheless,
Never-
You picked up in a
nevertheless.
Mercedes to take you back to a shanty village?
No, he
shanty
had
town?
he had a house someplace else.
Oh, he had a house.
dropping you
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Okay.
He dropped me off at his mother's
shanty.
house. His mother lived there, and it's a shanty town. And so the next, I remember I bought some leggings to sleep in, some things like I normally don't do, and new stuff because I'm going to Casablanca, the beach, vacation. Because Morocco's a beautiful
Morocco,
place,
right.
but I'm in a shanty town. Don't have little beds. They have these kind of couches that go along the wall, and during the day there's seating areas, settees, and then at night you take the pillows off, and that's where people sleep. So I'm sleeping on one of them in what we call a living room, and I hear somebody coming in the door. Shanty towns don't have locks either. I mean,
You felt safe.
You know what I'm saying? Locks or doors. And I look up, and it was almost like a vision. I see Sarah's father coming in the door, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and literally time stood still. I don't even know how long. It seemed like forever. And then his cousin, my friend, came out the door. She's like, "Oh, you're here." And it was almost like, and when she said something, it like broke the spell. I didn't know what was going to happen,
But I knew it was something.
That's something, because that was a moment where I was a hot commodity,
Was he coming to stay in the shanty house?
No, that's where his grandmother lived. And
He was just coming to visit.
Yeah, his grandmother had passed away, but that was their house, and he knew that his cousin was coming.
So he was just coming to
To
visit.
visit his
Okay,
cousin.
because I'd have been like, I can't talk to no shanty man.
Yeah. No.
He ain't got no real house.
Hold on now. There was a guy, so there was two of them. So there was another guy who lived in the shanty town. He was a runner. Like he would do, they have marathons that
Like a drug runner?
No. Like, there's
a
marathon.
runner. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's how we ended up on baking soda the other day.
There's marathons that they do in the desert, in the sand. And he used to do, but he lived in a shanty town. And he really liked me, but I was like, you ain't got no flow. And I didn't want to be like that. I remember I had given him a picture of me, and they put it like on the mud hut, the wall or whatever. And yeah, it was, he's like, come out to the beach and let's.
So you were the shanty town vixen?
I bet they still remember me. I remember.
That's because you're on the wall.
Still there. That's right. It's still there. And I remember this lady came over. There's no running water. There is no washing machine. And so this one lady in the village said, can I wash your clothes? I guess so. I'm help you out with 3 cents. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to support the community. She put all my
I
clothes
hate you right now. You go support the community.
She put all my clothes in bleach.
What?
Wow. Because you were the
By
shanty town vixen.
No,
Yes,
she was trying to get it white, but not everything. If I got Adidas and this is white and this is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then she hung up all my clothes across the line in the shanty town.
And everybody saw.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but I knew he would be I just knew. And every time they would ask, because they were trying to introduce me to everybody. There's one guy who owned like a superette, like a short, balding.
A super hut.
A superette, like a little
Oh, a
convenience store.
Like a store. Okay.
Yeah, like a little store.
I'm sorry. I thought you said
And they brought him up in, I remember, I wasn't looking for a husband, but they were trying to marry me off. But his other cousin was looking for a husband. Because for them, you just look for one. I found him, he's okay. So she had got an arrangement where her friend said, I got a guy I want you to meet. So she said, will you go with me? So I answered, sure. What is he saying he's going to be wearing? He said he's going to be in a pink shirt and green pants. I said, don't go. No, we're not going. I don't know what combination of pink and green that a man wear is going to work out for him.
Well, I mean, you can do that because there's a lot of guys who play golf and stuff like
Not
that.
in
They
a
have
shanty
some-
town. Not in the shanty town.
But he might have had some nice little shorts on in the little polo shirt.
I'm telling you right now, no.
Not in the shanty town.
I want to ask, what were you told by your mother about relationships? My mom told me, always be with somebody who loves you more than you love them. Always.
I don't think my mom ever discussed relationships with me. I don't recall having conversations. I don't even think my grandmother discussed relationships with me, other than don't sit down on the toilet seat. You'll get pregnant, or don't kiss a boy, you'll get pregnant. But I don't think relationships, I think I just watched the relationships that were happening around me.
And what did you learn from that?
Everything that I learned, I did the opposite of for the longest time. And then when I met my second husband, I felt that I did what I was supposed to do in the relationship. And to me, in my mind, being a wife was keeping the house, doing the house, keeping the kids, cooking, making sure that he's happy, washing, ironing, the whole nine that you see wives doing on television, right? because that is what I grew up seeing. I saw my grandmother. She didn't probably go to the extent that I did, but she did do quite a bit in the house. She maintained the house. My grandfather maintained the outside. And they had a really good marriage, a really good relationship. And so when people say, and I've said this before, but when people say, oh, your grandfather had a family on the other side of town, like, I don't relate to that, because the relationship I saw between my grandparents was so loving, and that they loved each other, and that they took such good care of each other. I've never been able to relate to that. And even if my parents were still together, my father would not have been that type of man to step out on my mom, because even to this day, he still loves my mom, and he still refers to her as his wife. Growing up, that's just the way those relationships were. And watching my brother and his wife, my brother reminds me so much of my grandfather, the way he cares for his wife, the way he cares for the home, the way he cares for the people in his family. He reminds me so much, and he may not even know that, but he reminds me so much of my grandfather.
Wow. My mom had a lot of sisters, and there was a lot of coming and going. Let me just say that. And my mom was pretty steady. One of the people, you see things when you're a kid. You see things that don't look quite right. Every time you turn around, there's a new uncle. You don't know where. Are we related in some way? Because every time you bring somebody's uncle. My mom didn't.
That was something else too. Even though my parents were together, my mom didn't have men coming in our house. There were never odd men. I don't have uncles. My mother's an only child. So I don't have real uncles, and I don't have real aunts. To have uncles running in and out, uncles, quote unquote uncles. Yeah. My mama never did that. She respected the home for us.
Yeah.
That was our space. I'm glad that I didn't grow up like that.
My mom led by example. She married my dad, and then she divorced my dad when I was 3. Or was I 2? 2. Yeah, 2. She married my stepdad when I was 4. And then that was it. Because the first one did not work out for her, whatever her situation was. And we don't even really talk about it. It didn't work.
Just didn't work?
It just didn't work. And then when she got with my stepdad, my dad, 44 years until he passed. The relationship that I always saw was stability. Stability
that's a good word.
And conformity. They both conformed to each other. They were each other's yin and yang. We all know my mama, she goes one way and he would go the other, but it fit for them.
The yin and the yang.
For them. Now, certain things I look at now as an adult, I'm like, I would either one of them. I would have said, I would have left him a long time ago, or I would have left her a long time ago, but it worked for them. They knew their own quirks, and that's how it worked. So that's what I look at. That's why when I was with my ex, I was with him for so long before we got married. It was the stability that I was used to, and it was the conformity that I was used to.
And the comfort. It feels like those house shoes that you've been there before.
I can't, unlike you, Kim, I don't ever remember speaking to my mom a lot about relationships. Honestly, I don't, which is surprising because my mom used to talk about a lot of things. And maybe there's things I just don't remember. But as far as relationships go, even to this day, I can probably, in my 52 years of life, I can probably name maybe 2 relationships I've ever seen in my life where that's a good marriage. 2 or 3. Because I don't think most people have good marriages.
Yeah, but
especially after they have been married for a long time. The way that they work together, the way that they speak to each other, the way that they move together. And I've only seen that really with people. I'm not saying people don't think they have good marriages, but what I see, I don't. I don't think that I've seen many people who.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but who move together. And these people are different people, but for them, what I see is that they are partners, communicate. And they do love each other. And you can see that because a lot of people, you don't see the love between them.
It doesn't always, you don't have to always show it though.
I didn't say that. You don't see the love between them and you don't see the connection.
But who's to say that just because you don't see it, it's not there? Who's to say that it doesn't work? That. Obviously it works for them. To me, I don't. Please, dear,
the things that I saw
listener,
that were common were those 3 things.
But I'm saying, I just want the listeners to understand this. We don't care how you have, whatever works for you in your relationship works for you. We're not judging anybody, but whatever works for you. So it's a lot of people that are just in those relationships.
And that's fine. And they'll be in those relationships for a long time. But a lot of those marriages, in my eyes, are bad.
Right now I'm in that time of life, the change, like you used to call it. And I don't really have a libido. I don't have a desire to be intimate with anyone.
Macaroon.
And I'm okay with us being cool.
Beetroot.
And you might get to that place in your life.
Of course, he's not there.
Okra water.
He's not there, but I thought and of course I have to conform because I feel that way. When you're a wife,
there are underlying responsibilities.
Yes,
that's
period.
what it is.
But in all fairness, your husband is a lot younger than you.
Yeah, you're right.
So where you may not have a libido, he still is primed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Because he is he's still young.
Yeah.
Not saying that you're not young. No,
I'm
he's
not
young. There's a nice age gap in between y'all. And in all fairness, he can't help that. I'm sure in another 10 years he'll be tired.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem for me. And I've told him, the thing is we don't have any children together. I have my daughter from a previous marriage, and I'm past the point of childbirth at this point.
Right.
No, you're not.
No, well, not officially, but like I'm 53. I don't have a.
Yeah, I mean, you may not have a drive for it, but there are still women that are having babies. I'm not saying it just because I had one at 40, but there have been people
50?
who have been yes, ma'am.
Yeah, people are having babies older now.
I don't know 50.
But I have a question.
That's not good for your health.
Listen, my ex-husband, his mother was, I remember her telling me the story of she had cataracts when he was born. And so for the first year, 18 months, she didn't know what he looked like. He was a shadow. And when she had her cataract surgery, then she could see his face. She knew what he looked like. She was obviously very older. It can't happen.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. And like there's an age gap between him and his brothers and sisters. So yeah, it could definitely happen.
You got cataracts?
She had cataracts.
Readers and having a baby?
And that's the funny thing too, is that I come from people who, generational anyway, people who have had children late. My Aunt Bobby, which is my grandmother's sister, my great grandmother had her, she was 45. Back then, come on.
Yeah, it happened.
Aunt Bobby is the baby of all of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There was
happened.
already big old gaps between the ages anyway, but yeah, so some people decide later on what they want to do, relationships,
So I have
babies, all that.
I have a question for you, Rochelle, because you are married. So let's say if your husband cheated, you would not, how would you feel? It wouldn't matter to you?
No, not really. No, but we have a very unique relationship. No, I almost feel like I wouldn't even allow him to do that because it takes a little pressure off from me. That's the problem because I married a younger woman. I'm a younger man.
I still hear.
Yeah. I'm just, and I told him one time we should get like a second wife. He's Muslim. Port one in, a young one, maybe have a baby.
Because then the first wife have to agree to a second wife?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he thinks it's funny. I said, because I can't deal with one.
Exactly.
He doesn't believe in that. I'm like, no. I said, think about it. She can help cook and clean. So she come in to cook and clean. Why not? Like she can live here for free. She can maybe have a baby. We couldn't do it. We can have a baby in the house.
And that wouldn't bother you?
No, it wouldn't bother me now.
Exactly.
Okay, now at this age.
At this age, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Right.
But I know one thing.
I would have a problem with that.
Really? Why?
But to me, you made good sense because like you said, you have no libido.
It makes
And
sense.
instead of having him go cheat, I'm saying
She's living in the house. I can be friends with her. She can be a sister wife. I still love him. And it's not...
That's a situation.
Again, you got to deal with a whole.
It's a lot that comes. Listen to me.
But that's a different culture.
It's a
so
lot.
they're
It
coming.
doesn't matter. It's
They're
still
coming in a
another
little
adult.
different. Yeah, but she's gonna come in young and naive, and
you're going to manipulate her.
no, I didn't say that. What you talking about?
Let's gang up on him.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when he starts doing da-da-da-da-da,
Read this book.
I just don't, at this age, I don't think I could do that. Even at a younger age, I don't think I could do that. Before my divorce, I was not jealous. Because my ex-husband was fairly handsome. He's just short, but he was a great guy, very sweet, the whole nine. I was never jealous until after the divorce.
Explain that.
So I can't, maybe because of knowing that he eventually did leave for someone else, that may play a part in it, but I didn't become jealous of. That's why I think I don't emotionally attach to the men that I meet. I can't really emotionally attach myself. Even with this last one, I don't feel that I was truly emotionally attached to him. It was more of I'm gonna win this contest.
I have a question about this. I don't mean to pry. What persuasion were these people?
They're all black.
They're all what? Black people doing this?
Every last one of them.
Man, you'd be
Let me tell you
surprised
again,
what's going on
the people
in this
that I
world.
meet, these are not
Actually,
white
I'm surprised
people.
that you're-
These are not white
Because
people.
I know black people. I have family that are they black.
Yeah,
Okay?
no, these are
2024.
You would be
There's a
so
lot going
surprised because, of course, it's different lifestyles, right? You have the polyam lifestyle, you have the kink lifestyle, you have all these different lifestyles, and every last one of these people that I have met, and I'm thankful for meeting these people. I've made some good friends. I've made some gotten some great lessons in how to deal with certain situations. Every last one has been black. Every last one. They've all been black.
What did you learn from that, Kim?
Black people are no longer unicorns.
The takeaway that I learned, the main takeaway that I learned is that I need to follow my instinct, my goddess. I need to, when I see that there's a problem, when I understand that there's a problem, I need to go. I need to put myself first, because in that situation, I didn't put myself first. I did not put myself first. So
My daughter asked me a question the other day. God, she is so Jen, whatever she is. My husband and I, we tend to, when we talk, we're passionate. I consider it to be passionate. And my daughter says, he talks to you, he's emotionally abusive. I said, no, honey. Yes, he is.
That's her perception, though.
And I go, no. But is it abuse if I don't feel abused?
For
and you
her
may not
perception.
see it.
Her perception is
You may not see it. She may see something that you don't see.
my favorite line: perception versus reality. Your reality is one thing, but what she's perceiving is something.
Yeah, and of course there's a culture difference, and then there's
Right.
a age difference, and
Right.
you know, I ain't never heard anybody ever when I was a child say that's a toxic relationship.
Yeah, but toxic is a new term.
It's a new term,
for this.
yeah.
All right, but there were definitely toxic relationships.
Yeah, they were, but we didn't.
You didn't label it that because we didn't have the language for it yet.
But we
Right,
we didn't even talk about that kind of stuff as much as we.
because we are Gen X people. We don't talk.
We're
about
supposed to be
the-
quiet about
We're supposed
some
to be
stuff.
quiet. We go outside and do our thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if not, you likely get hit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
grown folks business.
Yeah, it was going from speed. So no,
But you know what? The one thing about this whole relationship stuff that's cool is I think my older self back in the day, like if I was approached by all these
my
different
older self back in the day.
my
Younger-
You're in your 30s or
younger
something.
self.
This your
My-
30s, your 40s. What?
back then, whenever. I think that
It's relevant.
I think that back then,
Back
Where's
when
back?
whenever
20s?
then
Give me
was,
an age.
I don't know. I'm just saying not now.
Your younger self. Your younger self.
before
BB before Brooklyn. Anything before Brooklyn is back then.
at least 12 years.
At least 12 years. I think that back then I probably would have been offended by all of these different types of categories of people who may have been attracted to me. For example, the kinkies, the throuples, the bisexuals, all that stuff. I think that I might have been
But why?
offended back then. And the only reason I say that is because I think of myself as so mentally open now that I look at it two ways now. I look at it, number one, you know what? That was a compliment. And then I look at it, number two, that I'm able to express myself enough to say, but no, thank you. Whereas back then, it's like, am I putting off some kind of air? Or why would you come at me like that? Why would you ask me to tie you up? Hold up. So I think the progression of relationships for Gen Xers is a little bit easier now because we're growing up and we're seeing. I was just trying to say that, you know, based on
We
relationships
evolved.
now,
We evolved.
we've evolved a
Right.
whole lot based on how, you know, our parents and stuff were, you know, when they would see somebody.
You talk about acceptance of what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Acceptance of all of it. You know what I'm saying? You have choices now that you can say yes or no. You had choices.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm not accepting of it. I'm understanding.
And let me say this because I know we're talking about cheating.
Probably wrong.
We're not all over the place, but all of this ties together. So men that I've talked to, not necessarily saying that they're trying to talk to me or whatever, just friends or whatever, men that I know that have cheated, a lot of times these men are saying that I like something that she won't give me. I want something that she won't give me and she's not willing to do. So they find someone who's willing to do that for them. And
But man has been cheating. Men.
yes, they have. But I'm saying nowadays, because Mo was saying, like, you're a little bit more accepting and people are more now they're speaking out about what they like. Because before it was just what,
Right.
it was just certain things.
Yeah.
Before it was just certain things that you did. But now people are tapping into their bodies, tapping into their minds. You know what you like. And so now we might be down the road in a relationship 5 years down the road. But hey, I know we didn't start like this, but I find that I like this and I want to try this. You try that. They might not be, your significant other may not be on the same page. They may not want what you want. They'll try it just for you. And if they don't like it, then what do? Because you like it and you want to do it again and they don't want to do it again. So then you step out of the relationship and you find someone that will do it. And because we are more accepting, more people are like, oh yeah, I'm into that. Yeah. Okay.
If a man pays for a prostitute, or is that the politically correct term for the
Sex
I guess it
worker.
would have to be.
Thank you, sex
Oh,
worker.
yeah.
Thank you. I knew that was wrong as soon as it came out of my mouth. I'm sorry if I offended any of you sex workers.
Prostitution.
Okay.
You going to the jailhouse when you have.
Okay.
Yeah, they still gonna book you under prostitution. now.
Okay, but I'm just saying the sex workers. Is it still cheating if they pay a sex worker?
I think so.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
You just paid for it.
You're
but
just paying
still
for
cheating.
it. That's all.
Joe, that's even worse. You have to pay for it.
Yeah. Now, if I'm with someone and they're paying for it, I'm going to explode.
Really?
It's one thing about cheating. It's another you're taking out of our household to pay someone to cheat.
Yeah.
I'm going to explode.
But is that any
And
different than your mate going to a strip club and spending that money, that cash?
Good one.
I'm just
But
saying.
are they? But
Good
they're not having sex with
There's
them.
a lot of stuff
And
going on
9
in
times out of
clubs.
10,
But let's say there wasn't anything going on.
9 times out of 10, your mate is going to the strip club. You know that your mate likes the strip club. So you know that if they're going to the strip
That's
club,
different.
you
You're
know
right.
there's money going to be spent.
That's not the
something.
prostitute.
There's something that you already know. But to find out that you went to the strip club, threw some ones, and then paid one of them floozies to go to
They're
the
called
back.
sex workers.
Yeah, you're right. To pay one of them to go to the back, then now we have a problem because you've changed it.
Changed
You
the
didn't just
dynamic.
go to the sex club. You went to the sex club. The strip club. You went to the strip club, and
yes,
you
they
had
do
sex.
have those.
Yeah, so they do have sex clubs. That's
Those
true
clubs.
too. It's one in Houston. I
Yes,
was
it
invited
is.
to. I've been invited to several times.
Yeah, and I know exactly where you're talking
I've never gotten an
Do
invite.
you want one?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I would be flattered.
It's an experience.
I'm not flat. I wouldn't.
I'd be flattered.
No, I'm
Experience.
good.
You don't have to participate. if
So,
you want. Not
Oh,
that
so
I
you
know.
went? So you went?
That's
I
Mo
just said
talking,
not
not
that I
Kim.
Okay.
Blink, blink, blink.
But here's the thing too. I am one that I'm not boring, for lack of a better word. I'm not boring, period, whether it's in or out of the bed. I'm not boring. So if someone is saying, hey, do you want to go to XYZ? I personally don't have a problem with going to a strip club with someone I'm dating.
Yeah,
We can
I
go.
do too.
Okay, fine. I'm not interested. I'll say this. I don't like to go to male strip clubs. I think they're disgusting. I'm sorry to all the male strippers out there. I'm sorry. That's just how I
thank you.
feel.
No, thank
But I'm not opposed to it. Are we going to pay a stripper? No, we're not. But I'm not opposed to doing that with my mate. It's something different, like monotonous. Do you want to be in a relationship where it's just constant monotony?
No, but
who
I
wants
feel like
that?
you can find other things besides like sex. There's so many other things in this
Of course
world.
there are.
And like people just, and y'all, I'm the prude of the group.
Yes, you are.
You are.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it
I will
is.
gladly take my role. But I mean, there's
Role
so many
play.
other things in this world to discover together. Like, okay, I went with my husband, my ex-husband, a couple of times.
To strip club?
Yeah. We went, listen.
It's no big
We went to
deal.
one in Vegas. Those bitches were beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It was something, I did it. I don't have to go again.
I
don't want to go
I went
again.
for the lunch buffet. It was actually really good.
Shoot,
You ate there?
Yes.
Gross.
They go lunch
the
buffet.
best clam chowder I've ever had. was at a strip club.
I bet it
here in
was.
Houston.
Clam chowder. I bet it was.
And I've been to Boston. Okay,
And I know, look, and I know where you get it from.
that's disgusting.
That was gross.
They actually have a good
all
chef.
the things you pick to eat at the strip club.
Some clam chowder.
I'm telling
Did
you.
you hear what you said?
I'm telling you. But in all honesty, and you're right, at least there are other things to discover with your mate.
Yeah.
However,
That's an important part of
we're
your life. I understand
discussing
that.
cheating, and we're discussing relationships
Okay.
of the other
spectrum.
Yeah, we're not. But yes, there are definitely other places you could go.
Of course.
with your mate. But yeah, okay, let's go discover the new art museum. That ain't
Whatever.
not going to stop him from cheating. He's going to cheat regardless. You know,
With the woman at the art museum.
may
Pick them
happen,
up
but
everywhere.
they do
Exactly.
They
No, I'm
do.
just saying, yeah.
Whoever give it to him.
Right. But yeah, sure, you could discover a whole bunch of stuff with them. But if you want, I won't say if you want, people want, there are people who want a healthy sex life. And so one of the things they do, they try to spice it up with other people so that maybe their mate won't cheat, or maybe they won't get bored and wander away.
I wonder what is the percentage of when that happens and the guy goes off with the other girl. I'm sure it's a small percentage, but I'm sure it happens.
It happens.
It does happen.
Baby, it happens. That would be a good question. What is the percentage? I mean, people do everything. Women and men too will do anything and everything and try any and everything to keep their mates happy so that they won't stray. But straying is people stray.
I'm just going to say this.
Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
It is what it is.
Say it, girl.
I did something and I thought that's what they wanted to do. It was like, I didn't even want to do that. I'm like, huh. I assumed that they wanted to try something different, but it wasn't. Did they participate? Hell yeah, they still participated.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came down to it, he was like, I didn't even want to.
I think too, that right there, I think that is the importance of talking to your mate and finding out what they like and what they don't like. And again, people evolve over time, but
And
a lot of times,
if you're not having those conversations while you're dating, and if you're dating with the intent to marry or be with somebody, you need to talk about all of those.
All of that.
Are your kinks.
and a lot of times people don't do that.
They don't.
And that's how you get in these situations, because I've learned so much about kinks and people's kinks. And
People jump from relationship to the relationship. I've seen so many people who got divorced around the same time I did. It was like everybody around 40 or close to that were leaving and whatever. And some of them jumped into relationships like within 6 months, married or just, booed up, whatever. And I've seen those same people, some of them, jump from relationship, marriage to marriage. And it just perplexes me. You have not fixed the problem.
They don't want to fix the problem. They want to be with
Does
somebody.
not fix the problem.
because they're not having those conversations.
They're not having those conversations.
Again, that's us being older now.
And I'm not saying it doesn't work out for some people. It does.
Yeah.
But I still think at the end of the day, there was something that happened that you did not address.
I have a question. Would you ever cheat on your mate? I never have. I've never cheated. But would you? Yeah. Wait, did I? No, I didn't.
I barely have energy for him. I want to be honest. And having to deal with somebody else's, whatever that is, not interested.
Elise or Marietta?
I will say this. I did cheat, but it was not during my marriage. And it was a thing.
Okay, what's the thing?
What's the thing?
A thing is, it was somebody I was...
It was full moon?
It was somebody I was smashing before I even met them. And it happened. That's what it was. I mean, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. We were not married. And it was like in the very beginning of our situationship.
So you think you have to be married to
No, I'm saying that for me, it made a difference because I never cheated on my husband.
Okay.
He was my dude at the time trying to become my boyfriend. And this was somebody prior to.
So there was some
But it was
overlap.
still-
There was some
I'm
overlap.
confused.
Basically,
There's some overlap.
Before we got serious,
Yeah.
I still smashed, but under somebody else's view, it would still be cheating because I was still kicking it with him.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 at a time. 2 on the list. Yeah, 2 on the list.
2 at a time.
So
That sounded, no, it wasn't.
there was one on the list.
I once told this guy, and I think he thought I was crazy, but it was the truth. There's a guy on Facebook. I don't know if I discussed this with y'all, but they were talking about in the Facebook thing, they were talking about, I guess, dating several people. My thought is, if we're dating, we're dating. I can date as many people as I want. I date them all, right? But I'm only going to have sex with one person. And I feel like, I like to be honest. So if I am dating a whole bunch of people and having sex with one person, then I'm going to let you know I don't want to sleep with you because I have something else going on. We're just dating. You're dating to get to know me. May the best man win. So this guy tells me, he said that I was like but basically I was a liar and that I would not do that. And I'm like, why wouldn't you think that? I don't know the people, the women that, or even the men that some people run into, but you keep down problems by being open and honest.
Yep.
So I'm not, just because I'm dating you, it doesn't mean I have to have sex with you.
Yeah, but a man's expectation is very different than a woman.
It is. And that's why I'm letting them know up front. Hey, I am also seeing I'm seeing other people. And if they ask, I'm sleeping with someone else. I'm not, because I'm not doing it.
Either or.
You're right. But I would want someone to be upfront and honest with me. And that's what he was saying. That's not true. You would not. Yes, I would. Because then it gives me a way to move. It gives me the knowledge I need to make an informed decision. Am I going to deal with you or am I going to go on with my business? And people don't understand that.
But see, that's why you are dating. That's what people don't understand.
Right.
That's why you are dating. You met me on an app. Do you think that you're the only person that has approached me? And once you have that clarification, then it makes more sense. Oh, you sure work. Just like I met you on the app. I'm not going to assume that I'm the only person that you're talking to, trying to get to know.
You can move better in this dating world if you are upfront and honest.
If you're upfront and honest. And I've said that before
from the get-go.
To men.
The
and
best
they get
relationship
mad.
I ever had, and I can't even really call it a relationship. Y'all, you met him, right? I was talking about Ali. We were cool. There was a attraction there. I'm talking my way back in the 90s. But he was always honest with me. And that's why we're still friends to this day.
Exactly.
Because he was dating, he was a 24-year-old man. Like he was dating around, but we hung tough. Like he was cool. He paid for Mo's hair. Like
Sure
he took care of me even within that. And I know that was special. That was different. But it just wasn't ever going to be like a love match.
Because you guys, there were certain things that...
There's a lot of things that are different, but it was the best like relationship, whether it's a friendship or whatever, that I've ever had.
Right. And see, that's the thing. And people aren't open and honest. Even when you're in a relationship, people are not open and honest. Like, I just feel like if we're living together and we're sleeping in the same bed, you're coming in the bathroom while I'm taking a shower, like, we're close enough for you to be open and honest with me. And that's a problem where people have a hard time people just have a hard time with that. And it's crazy to me. And that's why you get people jumping from relationship to relationship. True. Because now you're cheating because XYZ, this woman won't jump up on the ceiling fan and swing around and yell.
That was a real story. It was in the news.
What happened?
Okay, so briefly tell y'all this. It's funny. There was a couple and they were trying some new stuff. And he really did. He put on a Batman cape and she was handcuffed to the bed.
Oh.
He tried to jump off the dresser, hit his head, unconscious.
Oh.
So yeah, people is doing that. But anyway,
Did he die?
I'm going.
He just
No, he didn't.
unconscious. Okay.
Yeah, but who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Exactly. No, but I was saying all to say, I guess at my age right now, I'm 50 and I'm going through menopause. I don't have time to lie. So it's better for me to be upfront and honest, because if you lie, you have to remember a lie. And
Don't have the mental capacity
I don't
for
have it no more.
The brain fog is real.
It's real. It's real. So I keep everything up front when I do start having conversations on the phone and stuff like that. Why are you single? Yeah, partially crazy, little cuckoo, good, bad, and indifferent. You could take the comedy, but you better take some of that truth to it too.
I've been dealing with foreigners too long because none of this stuff I've done. None of the whatever that preliminary thing, whatever that
No,
is.
I ain't done that.
No,
Preliminary.
like
Preliminary.
I haven't been poly either, baby.
No. Preliminary. The kind of, but Arabs don't. I've been in the Arab dating pool, and they don't. It's not the dating isn't. It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
So tell us again what it is.
It's
I like you, you like me. Cloop. Let's go.
Yep, let's go.
and okay. You come from a good family. That's it. No, we're not dating. You know, we're moving
together.
We're moving toward marriage.
That's interesting.
We're moving toward marriage.
So
Period.
you're dating with the purpose, quote unquote.
No,
you're with
they're not
someone with a
dating.
purpose.
Yeah.
Right. This is a
at
purpose.
all times.
There is a purpose.
Yeah.
And the purpose
So
is
in
to
the-
be married.
In the Arab world, like men don't date more than one woman at a time, or
No.
C.
No.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm. They pay prostitutes sex workers,
Okay.
because that is their job, actually.
What's
know,
their job?
Their job is to fulfill a man's needs because he can't date.
Oh, so he can go off and do whatever.
Yeah.
With a prostitute, only with a sex worker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's
What?
in a relationship with you.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Once he's in a relationship,
Okay.
Yeah, in lieu
Once
of
he's
dating.
in a relationship,
Oh, okay.
he
In
stops
lieu of- yeah,
seeing
in lieu of
the sex
dating.
worker.
Do they-
Okay.
Okay, I don't know anything about this, or maybe I don't remember, but is there sex before marriage?
normally no.
Okay.
So my
Why are they
first
seeing
marriage,
the prostitute? I'm
Yeah,
sorry, the
yeah,
sex
yeah,
worker.
sex worker.
No, I know, but I mean between the two, is there
Yeah. No, and my first marriage wasn't consummated until after we married,
really?
which was confusing to me.
How long?
A year.
Wow.
Yeah, a year. But he knew he wanted to marry me. So the woman you marry and the woman, it's a completely. And this one we waited way too long. Let me just say that. way too
How
long.
was the second one?
About 4 months. And when he would come over, when it got, I call it the bewitching hour, 10 o'clock ish, his uncle would call. It's time to go home.
How about that?
Oh.
It's time to go home. Because after the bewitching hour, anything could happen. Dinner's already good, dessert's already up.
And like people say, ain't nothing open that late but legs and motels.
But he knew. They know. They see your character, and
Well, we've all learned a lot today.
they don't date.
Interesting.
They don't date. And my husband has no. I'm his only. He's never dated. I'm the first relationship he's had. So he doesn't have any.
And how long have y'all been together?
13 years. And I was 40 when I met him. He was 27. And I almost feel like go and sow some oats. Like go on a Rum Springer.
That's your fault because you took him out the pool
No,
so young.
that's his fault. He remember my mom said choose somebody who likes you more than you like them. And he, I remember after they fought over me for a second, and he won.
In the shanty town.
No, that was the second. That was the first.
Oh, okay. I'm
The
sorry.
first husband. The first.
I was
husband.
thinking that too. I'm like, oh.
I was like, he was in the shanty
No,
town.
I didn't think. I see a pattern here. I didn't see it before.
What?
What's the
She likes
decided?
people to fight over.
Oh yeah, they're kind of like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, because let the best man win.
Hey.
Again, that's how I see it with dating. May the best man win. Yes, I'm dating multiple men, just not sleeping with multiple men. But now I'm not sleeping with anybody, so I'm celibate.
Here.
What's funny is nobody's sleeping. I'm just saying.
At all.
What we call it sleep. Americans have euphemisms for everything.
True.
French people have none.
Let me say this. I think that probably one of the best dates, if anybody's listening, one of the best dates I think someone could probably take me on would be a nap date. Let's just nap.
Normalizing napping.
Hey, let's just take a nap. Watch TV.
Your place mine.
We can go get a room, but I want a nap. We could just nap. Let's just nap.
But
a
if
napping
when-
date.
when you-
What the hell?
No, I understand
just
what
wanna go
you're
to
saying
sleep.
because you know what? That is very personal.
Yeah.
You can sleep around somebody. That means you're comfortable enough to.
How many times have y'all watched me
I don't
sleep?
sleep. I don't sleep with people I don't
Like
know.
how many times?
I can't
Truthfully.
even sleep in the car when people driving.
Oh no! How many
I
times?
definitely ain't gonna lay in the bed and sleep in.
How many?
I don't know.
How many times have I gone to sleep during or in between recording? A lot.
Almost every time.
Right. So I like to sleep. I'm comfortable and I want to sleep. I just think that a nap date, we can go have dinner, we can watch a movie, and we can just take a little nap. It's a nap date.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
Nothing,
A nap
nothing big. Yeah.
To get off me.
A nap will turn you on. If a
Not
man
necessarily
said,
turn me
no, but
on.
if a man said, "Babe, I'm gonna take you on a nap date."
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
This has been an
It was
interesting
definitely a
conversation
mirepoix.
about relationships because there's so many different aspects and
Right.
just the understanding, especially now that we have information about stuff. Because
Yeah, you
we
haven't
didn't have
before.
access to a whole bunch of things. There's so many things I discovered that I didn't know even
Right.
existed.
There's a lot more that you don't know about.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
me
people that
too,
are the same way that don't know a lot of things about relationships. My viewpoint on a relationship is and I was one time talking to my brother about someone's relationship, and he said that's their business. Whatever they want to do in their relationship is their business. And so I never thought about it like that. That's their business. However you do your relationship, however it works for you, that's that person's business. And I'm going to drink my water and mind my magical black business.
Okay. Note to self, mind your business.
Drink your water and mind your magical black business.
Okra water.
Okra water.
And listen to this podcast.
Already.
We want to thank our listeners. We really enjoyed the time we get to spend with you and each other, our confidants. So we would like for you guys to like, share, and subscribe.
Have you ever cheated? Have you ever cheated? Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes.
We have come to the end of our conversation. We certainly thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again. Always remember that the journey of friendship is built on the path of loyalty, acceptance, and grace.